What's poppin', Rebels? I'm here back with my partner in news and chaos, Madison Wright.
That's right, Rebels. We're bringing to you sports, announcements, and maybe some funny jokes. Let's get rolling.
Seniors, it's time for rings and graduation gear. Grab your info packets by the front office, and remember, Herf Jones will be here on November 21st. Don't be that senior still figuring out cap and gown sizes in June.
And for our academic achievers out there, if you have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, you can sign up for the CERT, the ACT practice test. Only 50 spots are available, so it's like the Hunger Games of test prep.
The 2025 yearbook is on sale, and here's your chance to get it at a discount. It's $40 if you order in November. After that, it's back up to $50. Trust us, it'll be worth it.
Seniors, if you're interested in visiting colleges like K-State, Beckfield, or Gateway, you need to sign up in the guidance office. This could be your future, folks. Sign up and maybe even get some free college swag.
Basketball season is almost here. Make sure you grab a Rebel Rewards card if you haven't already. And if you're lucky, maybe you'll get in the front row for a game-winning buzzer beater. Just saying.
Attention seniors with FAFSA on the mind. FAFSA Help Day is on December 4th, so mark your calendars and get ready for some serious paperwork bonding with your parents. And for those needing college application help, that's happening on the same day from 8 a.m. to noon.
Get ready for some serious drama. Gen Next Professional Wrestling is coming back on November 23rd to help raise money for families with medical bills. And if we sell 500 tickets, Mr. Crutchlow will shave his head bald. You heard that right. Goodbye, Darth Vader. Hello, Mr. Clean.
Mark your calendars for Maroon Madness, November 25th at 7 p.m. in the gym. Bring a canned food item, cheer on your Rebels, and maybe even snag some free stuff. It's a win-win.
Makeup Picture Day is December 2nd, so if you weren't happy with the first round, here's your second chance. Consider it a gift from the yearbook gods.
And on November 21st, our dual credit psychology class is putting on an awesome showcase from 9 to 11 a.m. in the gym. Ever wondered what makes people tick? Now's your chance to find out.
Let's talk lunch, because we know that's what you're really here for. Today, cheesy mac bites, mini corn dogs, and tomato soup. Tomorrow is cheese quesadilla and meatloaf. Maybe questionable, but also intriguing. Wednesday is buffalo chicken dip and fish sandwich. Just embrace the randomness. Thursday is charcuterie board and orange chicken. Fancy meets cafeteria chic. Friday is baked potato and pepperoni pizza. Just carb up for the weekend.
Nothing like a charcuterie board to feel like you're dining in the south of France while you're still, sitting in a cafeteria. Shout out to Miss Post Animal Science class. All 21 students are now Kentucky Beef Quality Care and Assurance certified. Yep, that's the thing, and we're here for it.
And another big congrats to Madison Wright, our FFA chapter president. She just got back from Nebraska's Youth Beef Leadership Symposium. She's one of only 10 students from Kentucky who made the cut. Way to represent, Madison.
Big round of applause for the band. They scored 11th place out of 23 bands, missing finals by just 1.5 points. It's cool though, they're still rock stars in our heart. Plus, shout out to the Marching Rebels who competed nationally in Indianapolis last week. We'll have those results for you so soon, so stay tuned.
And everyone who went to the fall ball last Saturday, hope you had a blast. Big thanks to Student Council and the Athletic Department for pulling it all together. Now, let's head over to the weather with Audrey Young. Audrey, should we start investing in snow boots?
Welcome to another week of weather that's just as confused as you are about your school wardrobe. You start the week thinking it's going to be kind of nice, with a high of 61 on Monday and a low of 51. So you throw on a light jacket or a hoodie, but then you step outside and realize you're either too hot or too cold. You spend first period in class sweating and wishing you had just worn a t-shirt, but by the time the bell rings, you're freezing again. Cure the constant is it too warm or too cold crisis. Typical Monday mood. Tuesday, we have a high of 58 and a low of 51. You're still confused about your wardrobe, so you wear your jacket to school, but have to carry it around because the temperature shifts faster than you can keep up. 1 minute you're shivering, and the next you're too warm and sweaty, especially in crowded hallways. Your sleeves are always rolled up, but your friends are still bundled up like they're going to a polar bear convention. The internal struggle continues. Wednesday, we have a high of 58 and a low of 51. The weather decides to throw a curveball. Light rain mixed with cold winds. The rain isn't enough to need an umbrella, but it's definitely annoying enough to leave you with damp hair and soggy shoes. Everyone's trying to avoid the rain while walking through the parking lot, but you're still getting splashed. By the end of the day, you're just praying the sun will come out to save you, but nope, no luck. Thursday, we have a high of 53 and a low of 51. This is the real cringy day. It's definitely chilly and the wind kicks in, making you wonder if you should have just stayed home. Your jacket doesn't seem warm enough, but wearing a heavy coat makes you seem like you're trying too hard. Everyone's shivering during lunch, and the cafeteria is super hot, so you can't figure out if you're supposed to wear your jacket inside or take it off and freeze when you step outside. You get stuck in that awkward, I'm too cold, but I'm too warm cycle all day. Friday, we have a high of 51, and it's basically the same temperature all day. You're stuck in that perpetual limbo between not cold enough for a heavy coat, but not warm enough to ditch the hoodie. It's the kind of weather that makes you feel like you're perpetually adjusting your layers. And by the end of the day, you're given up and just want the weekend to start already. Bonus cringe. It's probably windy too, so that by the time the bell rings, you have windy hair, don't care. See you in the halls if the wind doesn't blow you away first.
Time for Nathan's National Days. Nathan, what random holiday should we be celebrating today?
Welcome back to Nathan's National Days. Monday is Princess Day. Tuesday is Kentucky Day. Wednesday is Children's Day. Thursday is Gingerbread Day. And Friday is Floss Day.
Now it's time for Alumni Corner with Zoe Webster. Zoe, who are we highlighting from OCHS history today?
Welcome back to Alumni Corner. This week we have two guests joining us, and they even happen to be sisters. They are graduates of the class of 2017 and 2013, and both work in the law industry. Let's welcome Molly Gamble, Sunaby Williams, and Madison Gamble Johnson. I'm here with Molly Gamble and Madison Johnson, and I'm going to be asking them a few questions. Tell me just a little bit about yourselves.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. I graduated from Owen County in 2017. I was a member of the Lady Rebels basketball and volleyball team. And then after graduating from Owen County, I went to UK, and then I graduated there and went to law school, and I just graduated from law school in May.
Yeah, and what's funny is my story is very similar. Just I'm a few years older. So I graduated Owen County School in 2013. Went to the University of Kentucky, where I majored in Ag Econ, started broadcast journalism, but then I switched over to business as a minor. Then when I graduated from UK, I went to U of L Law School. And then after law school, I worked at a firm in Louisville doing business transactional corporate law.
All right, tell us about your journey from OCHS to becoming lawyers in Louisville.
In high school, I was an intern for Eddie Bourne, who's an attorney in Owen County, and that sparked my interest in wanting to go into the legal field. I didn't always say I was going to be an attorney. I had a business background. I knew I wanted to do something in the business world, just wasn't for sure what that was going to look like. And then after I went to UK, I tried a lot of different things, and that would be, what I would recommend to anybody who wants to go in the legal field. Do consider other things and see if that's actually what you want to do.
Yeah, and I have a similar answer. I guess one of the major reasons I went to law school was because of Madison, and I saw how many different opportunities you had when you got a law degree. I always thought attorney, you meant you had to be in the courtroom every day. And actually, my job now, I never go to the courtroom. I never will go to the courtroom. And so I guess truly look at all the opportunities you have, and having a law degree really opens up what all you can do.
Next one, what kind of law do you practice and what made you want to pursue that like certain field?
I work at a trust company in Louisville, and so they do primarily trust administration, wealth management. Right now, I deal a lot with our retirement accounts, and so I knew my interest was more on my dad's a CPA, so I've always been interested in finance and money management, and side of the legal industry.
Yeah, so after law school, I went to a law firm where I represented different businesses if they were sued, if they weren't needed to collect money. I also represented a lot of different banks and financial institutions when they were lending for large commercial projects. So if they were building a shopping center or restaurant, things like that, we represented the banks in those deals. But recently I switched in-house for a real estate acquisition firm where we buy and sell shopping centers, and then we lease those properties to the grocer and all the other tenants. That's where I work now, and I am on the acquisitions and dispositions of buying and selling property.
How would you describe a day in your life, or like what would an average day look like for you guys?
Okay, so I actually work from home now. With this new job, I travel to Cincinnati 2 or 3 times a month. So normally I get up in the morning. I like to work out before starting work to get the day ready. And then I'll log on. I have a lot of Zoom meetings. Then I will, the rest of the day, you kind of log off of the meetings and you start drafting a lot of the contracts, calling different attorneys, opposing counsel, negotiating the contracts. So that's what I'll do the rest of the day. Normally finish up around 5:30 or 6. We have 2 dogs, so we'll try to take them on a walk or do something, cook dinner, and that's about as exciting as it gets.
Get up the last second possible, get ready. I actually have to go into the office 5 days a week, but it's a short drive. It takes me about 7 or 8 minutes to go to work. Work all day, and then come home around 5, work out, cook supper, spend some time with my fiance. Lately we've been talking about wedding planning. So
Her fiance,
yes, that's
as
right.
many know, Mr. Carson Williams.
Yes, yeah.
this isn't about him though. And as far as my job goes, it's a lot of there's a lot of people at our firm, so it's a lot of internal collaboration, looking at a client's. We try to look at their whole entire financial plan and how their estate administration and all that weaves in, and what we can do to best serve them. So,
Yeah. Anyway, back to Carson. Tell him to be ready because a lot of people have nominated him and have been wanting him to be on this.
okay.
Was there a teacher that impacted your education career the most?
Yeah, there
In
were a
high
lot.
school, we had great teachers all from kindergarten to.
Mhm.
That's one thing that's really special about Owen County is everything feels like a community.
Yeah.
You're with kids from kindergarten to 12th grade, and your teachers are also your parents' friends and your Sunday
You
school
know
and
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. But high school teachers, definitely Klein. Do they still call her Amy Klein?
Do y'all call her Amy?
Yes, Klein. She goes by Klein. Yep.
Okay.
She's
So
our
that's
basketball coach too. So
Yes.
she's
She's my basketball coach. Yeah.
a great role model for
outside
young
of the classroom.
women. And then
Kay Bush,
Jordan was
Miss
always
Jordan was
great.
good. We had great.
There were so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last question. What advice would you give to current students that might want to go into law or just any other career in general?
Okay, well, so I would recommend to juniors, seniors, or just anyone after you finish high school, whether you're going to college, vocational school, if you're going straight into the workforce, whatever it may be, you're going to be uncomfortable in some situations, but you really need to put yourself out there. Networking is something that's super important, especially nowadays when everyone's tied to their phones and doesn't want to pick up a phone or have a face-to-face conversation. A big part of our job is being able to market yourself and your company and carry yourself well and be a respectable person. And so one thing I would recommend is just, getting yourself out there and not being afraid of yourself into situations that might be a little uncomfortable. And then the other thing I would say is try to get as many internships as you can, even in high school, but especially in college, in the summers. If you're interested in law, try to get in with a law firm, whether you're the runner where you're not making any money, but you're getting to see a little bit of what their day-to-day looks like, because that makes a big difference. I interned for LAX 18, and that's what made me decide I didn't want to do broadcasting. So little things like that can make a big difference.
Yeah, and I have a similar answer. I mean, obviously, I think work experience is very important, and a lot of people value that. And I think that can be lots of times any work experience. I still have on my resume some of the stuff I did over the summers here in college and high school. And beyond that, I think it's important to realize that even when you're from a small town like Owen County, you can still do just as much and anything from people from these big cities that even if you hadn't had all these opportunities, you can still do great things. And don't let people think just because you're from Owen County, do great things.
Yeah, use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
So that wraps up the interview.
All right, now for the poll of the week. Take it away, Abigail, Lila Wilson, and Lila Settles. What random question are we throwing at people?
Welcome back, Rebels. Since basketball season is approaching us soon, who would win a basketball 1v1, Miss Gagne or Mr. McDonald?
Sadly, Miss Gagne lost with only 30% of people voting for her. Chad won with 70% of people voting for him.
Let's see what you all got to say. Since basketball season is approaching us, who would win in a 1v1, Miss Gagne or Mr. McDonald?
Definitely Miss Gagne.
Chad.
My girl Kelsey would dog on Chad.
Definitely Queen Kelsey because Chad is old.
Kelsey, I love you dearly, but Chad would kill you.
Mrs. Gagne.
Chad.
Miss Gagne. Lady Rebels all the way.
Coach Chad.
Definitely Miss Gagne.
Kelsey would dominate. Sorry, Chad.
Kelsey.
Chad, 100-0. Definitely Chad.
Kelsey.
And now it's over to the Sports Lounge crew with Bryson, Brody, I think somebody should change their name, Brennan, and Colton for all things Rebel Sports. What's the scoop, guys?
Welcome back to the OCHS Sports Lounge. I'm Brennan and this is Colton. Today we got three things: football, track, and girls basketball.
Our football boys played Somerset last Friday and lost 35-6, which is the end of the 2024 football season.
Sad.
On a good note, our track runners, Tyler and Talon, both got All-State. Tyler got 10th in state, and Talon got 24th.
On to our girls basketball. They have their first scrimmage at Henry County this Saturday. I bet you they'll play 2 or 3 people. They don't know who they play yet. We'll come back to that next week. Off to you, Brody, Bryson, and Colton.
Welcome back to the BCB Sports News with Brody, Colton, and Bryson.
In the NBA, Nikola Jokic becomes the second player since Wilt Chamberlain to have 20 points, 20 rebounds, and 15 assists in a game.
Also, LeBron James becomes the oldest player to record 3 consecutive triple-doubles at age 39, beating his own record at age 34.
In the MLB, Reds fans gather at Great American Ballpark to mourn the loss of legend Pete Rose in a 14-hour visitation ceremony.
In the college football world, Alabama hands LSU their first home night game loss under coach Brian Kelly. They were previously 15-0.
In basketball, Kentucky starts their season 3-0 under new head coach Mark Pope after beating their rivals, the number 6 ranked Duke Blue Devils.
Breaking news coming from the OCHS Sports Lounge. Our women's golf team has had a very successful year, along with 5 members of the golf team getting all-region team: Andy Ballman, Emily Stedham, Lexi Chappell, Lucy Hardesty, and Lucy Donovan. Lucy Donovan also won 2024 8th Region Player of the Year. Congrats to Lucy on a great year.
Time to get a little bit global. Here's what's happening around the world this week.
All right, Rebels, hold on to that loose change because here's the scoop. Around the world, prices are rising faster than we do on Pep Rally Day. It's called inflation. Basically, when you go to buy something and you realize that you're going to need like 10 extra bucks. Countries everywhere are trying to fix it. Picture the US and Europe on a sinking ship called the economy, bailing out water and saying don't panic. China is even in on this mess, facing a slow real estate market, meaning fewer people are buying homes. It's like when everyone bails on your group project and you're just left wondering if it's going to fall apart or not. So what does this mean for us? Maybe try not splurging on that Rebel hoodie or getting a triple order of fries in the cafeteria. Save a little cash because you never know when your favorite snack will suddenly cost more than your latest math test score. Hang in there, Rebels. We might be feeling the pinch, but that just means that our Rebel spirit's got to be more valuable than ever.
And saving the best for last, it is Hot Seat with Kinsey Dempsey and this week's guest, Doug Wainscott.
Hey Rebels, it's Kinsey, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. This week, our special guest is the one and only Mr. Wainscott.
Good morning, OCHS Rebels. Thanks for having me in this morning.
Okay, let's get to it. Your first question is, what is one thing you regret not doing in the past?
One thing I regret not doing in the past? Probably not coming back to Owen County sooner than I did. I've only been back here for 13 years, so probably it's been a great time. And so if I'd have come back sooner, I think I really like that.
Road trip or flying?
Flying. Road trips stink.
Yeah. Classic or modern?
Modern. Definitely modern.
Beach or mountains?
Oh, the beach, of course. Somewhere nice and hot, especially during the cold winter, where I'm going on a cruise this over Christmas this year.
Sneakers or sandals?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably flip-flops.
If you could live in any time period, what would it be?
Ooh. Oh gosh, that's a hard one. I'm going to say a time period. I really like the 1950s and everything that went on back then.
Okay. That's a wrap for this week's Hot Seat. Thank you, Mr. Wainscott, for joining me.
Thank you, Kinsey.
All right, Rebels, that's it for this week's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to follow us on TikTok for a behind-the-scenes look at Rebel life. We'll be back next Monday. Stay classy.
Stay legendary, Rebels, and don't let this week get the best of you. See you soon.